I was a fan of Assassin's Creed since the first trailer in 2017, but I never could play the games cause I never had a current gen console or strong PC or anything. Till 2K13, where I played every single game of the franchise, and beyond that I experienced every main game of the series. After this, the reboot happened and I tried both Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, and both kinda disappointed me at its time. Now we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This game is different. This game got me. Welcome to the final World of the Fox Season 2021 video. I'm sick as fuck right now. I just got COVID and I'm totally destroyed. But there are no excuses. We just gonna talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. For your information, I played this game with English dialogue, had no experience boosts or anything. To get that out of the way, the store is kinda cool. I spent like $10 on some skins in my 100-hour plus playthrough, that's totally fine. But overall the store is kinda expensive. Don't get experience boosts, you don't need them, they'd rather ruin your experience. So if we start the game, the first thing I do is that I go into the settings, I do that in every game, and set up the game for me. And over here we got the most customization in any Assassin's Creed game ever on a console. I love the whole customization stuff, and it was a blast for me to change so much little things. Just for example, the cursor. Do you know the cursor of current Assassin's Creed games? On console even, with this lazy mouse simulation? I hate it so hard. So over here we can change it to a button type pattern, and that's great. Even this small fix did the whole experience even way better. So I played this game with the least amount of hints, difficult fighting, later on I switched to very hard, and difficult stealth as well. Let's get to the actual game. After the first cutscene we get a fluent switch and we play a child. Eivor, our main character through the whole game. There's a celebration going on and I don't want to talk about the story over here, just look at this dance.
Bleaching beaches!
Drink, Holger, and save your poems for your king.
Do you notice something?
He is your king as well.
Anything?
Raise your horn with me, Toby.
What about now? Is this on purpose? I don't know. I have no idea. In the intro sequence I like the presentations, the cutscenes are very good, the voice acting is very good, and it kinda hooked me. It's kinda hard nowadays to get hooked on something cause we got so much distraction in our life. After this we can choose our gender. I chose the female Eivor, and after that again, great cutscene. So the tutorial area is a good entrance as well, cause it takes some time to show you some gameplay mechanics, but not too much, you know. And from the whole sound design and animations, it was very appealing to me. I know that games nowadays really want to impress people by the first hour, so they keep playing. But over here, it really feels like a real surviving mission. Take for example Assassin's Creed Odyssey or something. Cassandra, look at my new vineyard.
You've chosen the great Phobos. He's never let me down.
This funny Greek vibe didn't affect me 1%. I just didn't like it. In my view it was annoying, the whole build-up of the story wasn't that serious. Over here we got a fucking dope boss fight, even in the beginning, and I died like 3 times. It was so hard to beat this boss. After we got to our hometown, the people tell us that we got multiple times in situations like that, and this survival mission was nothing special. Overall I like the character of Eivor. I like how she looks, I like how she speaks, I like how she acts. And then I noticed there are some similarities to Lightning of Final Fantasy XIII. And back in the day I got a little crush on Lightning. Not really, but kinda. And now look at this.
Lightning. It flashes bright, then fades away. It can't protect. It only destroys.
A cloud hangs over you. Is something wrong? Seeing my father's axe after 17 winters. It stirred something in me. A feeling I have not had since the day he was killed. Since the day I got this. Memories of past agonies, of sadness and pain. I should speak with Volka. She could help me make sense of my feelings. Take your time getting settled. I will see you at the Longhouse.
But let's get serious again. For some story context, we play Eivor and our parents got killed by this bad guy, Kjotvi. So we got adopted by our parents' best friend, Sigurd Sigvardision. He's the Jarl, like the boss of the Raven clan. And with him as adoptive father, we got an adoptive brother as well. And this is Sigurd. At the beginning of the game, Sigurd comes back from his greatest journey ever around the whole globe and shit. On this journey, he met Basim and Haitham. These are assassins from Constantinople. That's Istanbul. My parents come from Istanbul. I got the same roots as these guys. So we got Turkish assassins in Norway. I personally didn't trust them at all in the beginning, but they gave us a gift, which they're not allowed to. We just get the hidden blade. The next day, after we destroy Kjotvi's, the bad guy, resources, his people are still too strong to us to beat them. At this point, we meet King Harald Fairhair. This dude's name is Fairhair. So we got the largest and strongest army in Norway and we team up with him to beat Kjotvi's ass. This cutscene is a great example which position we got in the game. We are not the main character. We see and feel everything as Eivor. Dreams, feelings, special experiences. But the main character is Sigurd. We are player 2. We are his advisor. So Eivor especially asks to kill Kjotvi by her own. And this should be the biggest moment of her life, cause that's the goal since her parents died. Sigurd says,
You will have it, Eivor. You deserve it.
and Basim gives us this look. Then later on in this fight,
Hi there!
Haitham was snitching. The assassins were snitching. Don't worry, this is still the intro of the game. This is just the setup for the whole game. After we killed Kjotvi, his fortress is down, everybody's happy. I went for some exploration and the very first time of exploration felt very good, cause I just went up to the highest point, set up my Raven and checked like, oh, what's this? What's that? What's this? Later on it got a little bit worse, but still not bad or anything, cause it's still way better than just spamming waypoints everywhere. They just throw some insane story setup cutscenes in there. I'm not gonna talk about them. Then I noticed for myself the horse riding animation felt way more natural than in the two games before. And I just climbed up a mountain and I got into a little cave and there was this guy, Erik. Erik is a Drengr. Drengr are like the strongest warriors in the whole country. There are just a few of them and fighting these guys is like an endgame small boss fight side activity. Erik is the weakest of any Drengr. Makes sense, he's in the beginning of the game. But I was like, okay, let's beat him. I was there for multiple hours learning his moveset and patterns. Tried it over and over again. Almost got him at some point, but he was just too strong. He destroyed me every single time. Perfect! For hours.
For Ragnar Lothbrok.
Then I realized for myself it's way too early for this fight right now. I have to experience stuff, I have to grow, and later on I will come back and beat his ass. And I promised myself I will. After using the great photo mode, I went for exploring again. And do you remember the Assassin's Creed Revelations trailer back in 2011? With Ezio exploring the whole world and going to Masyaf, this whole cold and serious look where he does his assassin's move and everything. So in this section of the gameplay, I got the exact same feeling as I saw this trailer 10 years ago. But I just played it by myself and that was insane.
Leading life from home, I'm walking ahead. I'm frozen to the bones. I am a soldier on my own. I don't know the way. I'm riding up the heights. Oh shame, I'm waiting for the call. The hand on the chest. I'm ready for the fight and fate. sound of iron shocks stuck in my head. The thunder of the drums dictates the rhythm of the thoughts, the number of days, the rising of the hearts ahead. From the dawn of time to the end of days, I will have to run away. I want to feel the pain and the bitter taste of the blood on my lips again.
Disclaimer!
We are like in the first section, in the first chapter of the game, which is like 8 hours. This is just the beginning. I played 100+ hours. There's a lot to talk about. In the next story segment, our adoptive father is snitching. Why is everybody snitching? To live under King Harald's fair hair command. So Sigurd and Eivor are pissed off because they can't create their own legacy right now. They're just some little sheeps under King Harald. That's why they split up with King Harald and the father and just create their own legacy. And Sigurd is now the Jarl of the Raven clan. But there are no more resources or villages to take in Norway. That's why we sail to England to start our new life over there. And this is just the first chapter of the game. This is the beginning of the game. This was just a little setup so you get some points, you know. As we went to England, I just got the same feeling as a Raven clan. Everything was so new and strange to us. We found a lost village, refreshed it a little bit, and this is right now our new home. Literally our home. This is a point which I really like about this game. This is the special feature of this Assassin's Creed. So you got your clan, you got a starting point for every adventure you go. And that's just great. You have your blacksmith over there, you have your tattoo or hair artist, you have your spiritual woman who can give you advice, you have your assassin base, and way more. It's not like in Assassin's Creed 3 or Unity where you got your random house or your random assassin base under the ground and you don't care about it. Over here you got people with sometimes more or sometimes less character, and the main focus of the Raven clan in this village right now is to get bigger and bigger. So we start with a small type of town, but this can evolve through a level system, so every small tent can get into a nice house. And with the progression over the whole game, you get new space to build new things, like a farm for example, to buff your clan. Or this artifact collector, which got a very dope design. Talking about design, you can design your home with decoration. Could be anything, from torches up to statues. With leveling up, you get even more space to set more decorations. The only thing that you really can't do is to move objects around. Expect this great feature. There's even more with some games to service content where you get new events every few months with new designs and new content, and that's pretty dope. So it's all set in the village, you know, it's your home. The story of the game keeps going as we went to every single area or kingdom to build a bond between them and the Raven clan. I said kingdoms because next to the main king of England, every area has its own king or jarl. We got our alliance map, and over here we can choose in which area we go for the next big story quest line. It kind of feels like different levels, cause the design, the location, the political structure changes every time. I don't like how Ubisoft tells the stories of Assassin's Creed games. I don't say it's bad, but just since Assassin's Creed Black Flag or anything, the stories are just very short and very simple. So there was no nice combination for me that worked very well. And I still like every Assassin's Creed game, but over here, it's next level. So you will get no story content right now, just the concept how the game works. I don't know where to start. Let's do a small recap. We got the intro in Norway with curly, fair hair, adoptive father, aka Snitchy Dad. That's why we went to England to start a new life there and expand our influence and power. That's the setup, yeah. We gain this influence and power as we build alliances with every kingdom of England. So every area has its own plot and storyline. For example, we have to help somebody to get some recognition to be the next king or jarl. Or there's a very strong person as a king, but he has the feeling that somebody is close to betray him and kill him. And how the theme changes as you're talking to this kid or talking to this king was very refreshing. In the whole game there's a dialogue system where you can pick up to 3 different choices how conversations go. I mean, it's good, I'm glad it's there, seriously, but sometimes it seemed a little bit too made up. I got the feeling like the bottom answer is always the answer to go on with the storyline, and the other two above there are just some random information. They are the important situations where you decide between life and death, politics, or your own mindset, which is very deep, and that's very good. But back to the story though, I have so many great memories right now. So many. Just a few. How they handled the topic Halloween, how great the London arc is, or the small conversation at the wedding. And if you don't focus what the people actually say, you totally fuck up the situation. Or even Vinland. This is just for everybody who actually played the game. Vinland is very dope though, but let's get deeper into the Assassin's Creed Valhalla iceberg. So after you finished one main arc, not the main character of this arc, but a very important person of this arc could say, "Hey Eivor, you inspired me so much with your whole Raven Clan thing, let me please part of the Raven Clan." And you're like, "Alright, hop over to the ship, man, you come to us." And then this person is part of the Raven Clan. So you already interacted with these people, you fought with these people, you talked with these people, you had celebrations with these people, you know these people. And everyone is like a pillar of your own legacy you built. And it's such a great picture to have your whole legacy on your ship. Or you can even find some cats and put them on your ship. It's all about these small details which makes this game great, cause it's all story related, you know. Another though part of the story is that the main people of your alliance are still a topic later on. So the alliance guy from area number 2 can be part of the story of area number 6 later. Cause it's kinda connecting, you know? And this is such a great big picture they built over here. All these protagonists in these areas even write your letters later on, and you can read them in your bedroom. There's a functional bedroom in Assassin's Creed. And the story got so many good, I don't want to say twists, it's more like insane moments where you're like, no way, what? What? I never had that before in Assassin's Creed. Next to the main story, there's another plot in the Raven Clan which is building up and getting more and more important organically next to the main story. And that's so insane. And the cherry on top of this is Eivor. I already told you, I like how Eivor looks, I like how Eivor speaks and acts, but the story of Eivor just blown me away. Eivor is a strong person, but at the same time she is unexperienced, and in my view, it's a little bit like a lost soul. Her parents died and she gets these fucked up prophecies by the witch of the Raven Clan. In about the middle of the game, the pressure level, the heat, the intensity of the story goes to its highest peak, and how Eivor handles the situation was the greatest thing of the whole game for me. I totally love this character. Let's get a little bit into the world and the look of the game. I talked so much about the story. Let's just jump right into the gameplay so you can imagine how the game actually feels when you play it.
Now go. I will rustle up a small rescue party.
I'm wary of this abbot, Basim. He is self-serving and evasive. Can he really deliver Folke?
The abbot is a friend of Folke's. That is clear.
So long as he doesn't suspect our motive, we may have a chance.
Indeed. This brings to mind a story. Perhaps you've heard of it. The Scorpion and the Frog.
A children's story?
A cautionary tale. The Scorpion wants to cross the river, but he cannot swim. So he enlists the help of the Frog. The Frog agrees to carry him on his back, extracting a promise that the Scorpion will not sting him.
Let me guess. The Scorpion reneges, blaming his nature, and both drown.
The Scorpion crosses the river and stings an innocent man, killing him. So what does this tale tell us?
That your stories are clouded, and their meaning doubly so?
It shows that every tale has 1,000 possible outcomes, many of which are surprising. If the abbot does not deliver Folke, he will die at my hand. And we will continue our search.
A sobering approach.
I'm sorry for interrupting already, but the story Basim tells over here with the Scorpion and the Frog is insane foreshadowing for the ending of the game. I never noticed that until I went through all of my gameplay for this river here right now, and it just clicked like, this is genius. Like over here, let's soak into Norway's forests at night with moonshine and polar lights. Now we get to my most favorite location of this game, and overall one of my most favorite locations of all time, Stiper Stannis. I just got soaked into this world so much over here. Not like, ah yeah, that's cool. No, perfect. So let's get into the menu. Like I already said, there is no lazy mouse simulation anymore. Now I got the nice button simulation movement and it's great. I like the menu, it's well organized like in the 2 games before. There is the nice map, there is the Templar killing catalog and the new skill tree. So they went from straight up abilities, which was a trend a few years ago, back to stats. So you gain some attack speed or health. In every single star formation cluster, there is a own ability as reward for going that path. You can skill your character in every way, like the archer way, the assassin way, the I'm a Viking and fucking stomp your head with my feet way. I wasn't a fan of the Viking stuff in the beginning because I wanted to mirror my storyline with my moveset. So my Eivor was in the beginning a little bit more unexperienced and sneaky, and later on when in the story the emotions are floating around, I was like, okay, now it's the time to stomp some heads. The abilities got way better in this game. I almost used all of them. For every situation there is an ability, and the combat overall is also good. So you got the shield now and it's blocking the arrows and you can block basic attacks, and if you get to a perfect block situation you can stun the enemy and do an execute move to them. Every enemy got weakness points, and if you hit them you can go for very strong attacks, and to hit these weakness points is very hard later on in the game, especially when you fight against the Drengr, the strongest people in the country, in a 1v1, cause they are so fast. It's so hard to reach their back and shoot an arrow into it, but it's not unfair, you know? Sometimes you just have to get your brain on and think about a situation how to solve this. Another unique feature of this game are these Viking raids. So you got your ship and you sail to an Templar-based church and you go there from house to house and rob them out. And meanwhile your clan is just burning down the whole place. The gameplay of Eivor feels way more realistic. There is way more weight in the character. So I didn't got that in Assassin's Creed Origins or Odyssey. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Cassandra felt for me like a puppet which is floating over the map. And overall the design with the head-up display and the visuals looking way cleaner in Valhalla. In straight comparison it feels like the 2 games before that were just some better versions for this game. But this is no serious comparison like this is better and this is worse. If you prefer Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's totally fine. I just tell you my feeling, you know. But I gotta say I like how realistic the world still is. It's way more serious than but they kinda spread the funny moments as well. In the world there is extended exploration with old assassin bases or cave systems where you collect some special herbs for a side plot next to the storyline. But let's get to the side activities at all. So the main side activities are a beer contest, flighting, which is like an a cappella rap battle, and Urlog. This is a board game. The beer contest is kind of challenging and cool. Flighting is cool as well, and also really challenging because you have to find the perfect counterline to the stuff the guy just taught you. But sometimes they just change stuff, like this guy can't talk but wants to have a diss battle with you. Or this woman doesn't want to diss you, she wants you both to spread some compliments. That's kind of refreshing so it doesn't get boring, you know. My favorite is Urlog, the board game. I never liked Gwent in The Witcher or any small extra games. Urlog really got me. It's the perfect mix of strategy and luck. I just played every Urlog game and was sitting there for hours while listening some podcasts. You can tell how long a match is when a whole day passes in England. Next to the main side activities, there are even more, split into 3 categories: treasures, riddles, and artifacts. Treasures are good because you got some weapons or gear with real worth. the game doesn't spam you up with 500 types of weapons. And you can get some materials for crafting, and you are able to craft every item up to its highest point, the overall gear of your inventory and the weapons. I love how the design changes over the time when you level it up like 10 levels or anything. For example, I got the original axe of Eivor's father you get in the beginning of the game, and I just maxed it out. Riddles are like small side quests or short stories, very short. At some points they're just bad, like bring this box from point A to point B. Why are you doing this? But there are even better ones, just like forcing this unwashed guy to clean himself up, or two guys are beefing while their house is burned, or having a 1v1 box fight versus a one-punch man. That's kinda cool. One thing I noticed is that the German video game magazine, GameStar, they made a review of this game and they said that the riddles are kinda bad. I can see that, fine. To be honest, I don't like GameStar and I don't like how they handled the topic Assassin's Creed in the past. They made some really questionable videos in the past about it, but I watched their Assassin's Creed Valhalla review without any bad intention or anything. I was open-minded. I just was there to see what they say about the game. There's a side quest where you count stones in a very disrespectful way, just like this is garbage. The point is, there's a riddle where a guy loses his mind cause there's a circle of stones and the number of the stones change without moving. You are about to help him move around the circle, just count them by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Then you got the number, you tell him the number and he says, nah, this can't be true. Count again, please. So you repeat that, you walk around the circle, count again, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the number of the stones changed. Without moving any texture or any stone, the number of this ring is different. I was like, huh? What? You tell him the second number and he says, no, that can't be. Then you do it again and it's different again. And this was a complete mindfuck. I couldn't get that. I couldn't understand how they did this.
27, 21, 23, 24, 22, 22, 22.
And the biggest video game magazine in Germany is like, that's boring, it's bad. Artifacts are just collectibles, just like Templar documents, art gallery stuff, or tattoo designs. It's funny that you chased the tattoo designs the same way you did it in Black Flag with the shanties. Tattoos is a topic as well, because you can customize Eivor design-wise with every body part, even up to the hairstyle and different colors. So I use this to change my look for every story arc, to adjust a little bit to the area and have a better immersive feeling. And there are the Drengr. I already told you about them in the intro and the combat, but I just wanted to tell you, I went back to Eric, the first Drengr.
For Ragnar Lothbrok.
I was totally overpowered, went back to his little shit cave, totally smacked him and ripped him apart. That was satisfying revenge. Everything we saw to this point was very positive, right? Now we talk about the bad stuff and where the game just sucks. I got multiple times the situation in the main storyline that the AI of my companions fail. Imagine this nice story quest, oh, let's go, we have to go to this church, let's take the horse, yeah. And the game tells you to follow this guy, but then shit like this happens.
You are better off leaving that sauntering pole in your wake.
Archbishop Deolav and King Rodri are ensconced in the church ahead.
These houses of Christ, they're all so hard and cold.
These AI fails are multiple times in the main storyline, which is unacceptable bad. What the fuck? I said I used most of Eivor's skill set, right? Cause the other stuff didn't work. It's just totally bugged. Or the loading times. When you start a new session into the game with the start screen and stuff, the time it takes to get you into the game, it's 4 minutes and 44 seconds. That's almost 5 minutes. But expect the start screen stuff. The rare loading time of the save state takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds. What? And I got an SSD PS4, a very fast one. To be honest, if you're later on in the session, the loading times are no problem anymore. But this first boot up is pain in the ass. every single time. There's some additional free content with games as a service events, right? Do you want to play it? Do you want to see my unedited gameplay?
Don't! No one called. No!
I don't have an unpatched early version of the game. This is patch 5.0. This is the 5th generation of main patch. How are you able to do this? I told you in the side activities there are some little tweaks which make them a little bit refreshing, but it's still repetitive. Cause when you get into a new town or something, you exactly know what you get. There are some treasures, there's the beer drinking, there's the airlock, blah, blah, blah. There is no new stuff. It's always like the same formula, 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 the same formula for 100 hours. Like I said, they're refreshing the experience a little bit, but hands down it's still the same stuff and you know exactly what to expect. Same with combat. It's cool, but it's not very good. And when you got this not very good combat system and stretch it like over 100 hours and you fight a lot in this game, there's a lot of combat. It's mostly like always the same, you know? Or animations in dialogues are fucked up. This guy is talking with a closed mouth.
There's still much for you to learn about fighting, but I'm confident you'll pick it up.
When you're on a raid and there's a big treasure or a heavy door, Eivor can't open this by her own. You need 2 people to open it. So Eivor calls for help. Hey, help me over here, yeah! And you give the command to your clan to help you open this. But nobody comes, cause the programming is totally fucked up. And Eivor is like... the whole time! The riddle with the unwashed guy where we help him to clean him up. Have you seen this animation? This animation could be straight out of the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. All of this stuff just rips you out of the immersion and sucks very hard. Another topic which is weird is the ending of the game. Don't worry, no spoiler, this is just the concept how the ending is building up. Cause there are 5 different endings. Now like, what? And it's not like pick or choose or which ending do I choose? No, it's more like there are 5 endings and all of them happen at some point. I looked up on the internet which is the real ending and nobody's sure. So there's a Valhalla Viking type ending. There is a Animus present day ending. There is a we build an alliance and fight against the king ending. There is a Templar related ending. There is a calm ending. Everything of this happens. And you're like, is this the ending now? No. Is this the ending now? No. What is this? This is shit. What's going on? Overall, I like what they did to spread a message with this game, but the whole build-up of the ending is fucked up. And there is no straight ending, there are no credits. The game doesn't even tell you how to get these endings. Imagine there is no more story quest left, and the story is not finished yet. And you have to trigger some random stuff in the world to hope that you get the next story segment ending. I'm not stupid, I just was totally lost cause there is no clue or anything. And Ubisoft lied again with the CGI trailer cause how they handled one special topic was horrible. So that's the bad stuff. And this bad stuff just scales over the whole experience and made this amazing game just to a... well, very good game. But overall I had my fun. Eivor's story is a great one and I still would recommend this game to you. The last time I was addicted so much to a game was Death Stranding. I love Death Stranding. I don't want to compare this right now to Assassin's Creed 2 or anything that doesn't make any sense cause the games are so different. To the end I just gotta say this is one of the best Assassin's Creed experiences I ever got and you should try it.
We'll rest soon enough.